covered by water. These vast oceans are a cauldron of violence, a world much more dangerous than the land above. This is the brutal world where an ultimate predator is born and bred.
Creature in the most dangerous ocean ever. It's 45 feet long. It's the size of a Greyhound bus.
Now a monster is resurrected inside a laboratory, and its killing secrets revealed. This is a mosasaur. And entombed in this chalk are giant fossils of mosasaur. In the late 1830s, the bones of the beast are first uncovered in North America. This is where the mystery of the mosasaur begins, because nobody can say just what this creature is. It is a question that first arises when a massive skull is found near the Meuse River in Holland.
The first guy who looked at it thought it was part of a fossil. French paleontologist described it as a mosasaur, meaning Meuse River reptile.
Eventually, the American bones are matched up with the earlier fossil find in Europe and correctly identified as a mosasaur. Over the next 80 years, as scientists begin the serious hunt for dinosaur fossils, a pattern emerges. In every corner of the globe, they find mosasaur bones. This points to one conclusion. No other predator has ever dominated the planet like the mosasaur.
This guy,
Scientists investigating mosasaurs realized that nothing on Earth could have stopped them. It took a cosmic catastrophe to end their reign. As scientists explore mosasaur evolution, their investigation yields a startling revelation. The ocean's top predator came from the land. These sea monsters began their journey as tiny lizards at the mercy of giant dinosaurs. How they became colossal mosasaurs remains a mystery, until 1989, when a fossil hunter named Van Turner finds a very unusual skeleton. Turner takes the fossil to Mike Polson, a paleontologist at Southern Methodist University.
When Van came across the first pieces of Dallosaurus, he immediately recognized it as some sort of mosasaur.
Named Dallosaurus after its discovery in Dallas, Texas, the bones were pieced together. Then, scientists connect the dots. Dallosaurus is an interim form, a missing link between mosasaurs and the tiny terrestrial lizards that are their ancestors. The lizards, dubbed Aegialosaurs, face a constant threat from the larger, fiercer dinosaurs. They flee to the ocean. 3 million years later, they evolve into Dallosaurus. Their toes evolve into webbed feet, so they can no longer function on land. In the span of 6 million years, they grow from a small 3-foot lizard into the giant 50-foot mosasaur. The mosasaur's development demonstrates that even in evolution, timing is everything. Warm temperatures and shallow seas create an abundant food chain in the ocean.
This is a perfect environment for animals to take to the water.
But these life-giving seas can quickly turn deadly, even for mosasaurs. The competition is everywhere.
Everything in the oceans then would have looked very strange to us today. All the fish seem to have been armed with mouthfuls of teeth, It seemed like everything in that ocean was a predator and just built for killing things.
Like Zephactinus, a bony fish that is armed with a mouth full of long needle-like teeth. The plesiosaurs are marine reptiles and top predators for over 100 million years. They come in two lethal varieties. One deals death through speed and agility. The other is a behemoth, so mammoth, nothing dares challenge it. And of course, there are the sharks. These predators were around 100 million years before dinosaurs had ever roamed the Earth.
This is a tooth from a large shark that lived during this time, during the age of mosasaurs swam in this ocean. It's from a shark called Cretoxorana mantelli, the Ginsu shark. And I called it that specifically because it's sliced and diced.
The Ginsu is a giant shark. Reaching a length of 25 feet, it dwarfs any modern great white.
This shark was literally able to bite through bone. We know that because we find pieces of mosasaur that have literally been severed from the end.
To survive, mosasaur had to change its land-based behavior, tearing out a place for itself at the very top of the food chain. But what allowed this creature to evolve into such a relentless killer? It's all in the bite.
You'd probably be in shock after a bite like this.
Taking her up. Give it more power.
Coming back.
We humans got lucky. We managed to miss out on the mosasaur. "95 million years ago, it is just a small lizard forced to flee into the ocean. Within 6 million years, it grows into one of the most successful predators of all time. But what made the mosasaur such a monster killer? Millions of years of evolution created a perfect formula for the perfect killer. This is how you make an apex predator. First and foremost, breathing. Like whales, mosasaurs can spend long hours submerged in the sea, but they still have to come up for air. And then there's food. Fish are nutritious, but they're fast and slippery. To catch them, mosasaurs must develop the skills of an efficient hunter. Another part of the formula, hearing. In the water, sound location becomes a prime method for hunting. Mosasaurs modify their terrestrial ear into a super amplification system that makes sounds 38 times louder. In his studies of the mosasaur, paleontologist Dr. James Lamb has been able to reconstruct the creature's hearing mechanism.
This little piece fits in this pit and moves back and forth. And then this piece fits here and a small movement in this first piece creates a large movement in this one. So it's a system that's finely tuned for conducting sound through water.
Even though sound can lead them to the prey, it's difficult to detect a target if it's in murky water. Here, Mosasaur would have the advantage by using the keen sense of smell inherited from its land-based ancestors.
A mosasaur like this would have had a tongue that would function exactly like a monitor lizard's tongue. The reason why the tongue is forked is so that the animal can smell in two different directions at the same time.
One more addition to our killing formula: sonar.
Given off by the prey.
Mosasaur uses this pressure wave sonar to hunt, much like modern killer whales use echolocation. All these adaptations mean Mosasaur has a good chance of locating dinner, but they still have to catch it. And chasing down fast, elusive prey requires jet-like speed. So how does an 8-ton, 50-foot monster propel itself? This alligator has another piece of our formula: a massive tail. Along with crocodiles, gators have a long, flattened tail shape similar to mosasaurs. They use the whip-like action of their tails to move quickly through the water. Mosasaurs retain their terrestrial lizard shape, except for the tail, which evolves from a round snake-like shape into a wide, flat paddle.
If you look at the vertebra on the tail, they have expanded bony struts top and bottom for the swimming organ that helps them swim.
Using modern gators and crocs as a comparison, scientists estimate a mosasaur can reach a top speed of 30 miles an hour. Its whip-like tail is good for quick acceleration, but not sustained high-speed chases. Fish are built to swim fast and far. Mosasaurs won't win a marathon, so they have to strike quickly. Which means this enormous beast has to somehow hide its 50-foot body and ambush its prey.
Imagine that this animal is sitting on the bottom, takes a deep breath, it just waits there for something to swim.
Speed and surprise are two critical elements, but mosasaurs also need agility.
That's where the paddles come in. They propel themselves with the tail, they steer with the paddles.
These paddles are short and strong, allowing this long lizard to corner on a dime. Like flaps on an airplane wing, the paddles create drag, which makes them turn. For mosasaurs to be successful underwater, there was one land-based trait they absolutely had to jettison: their sensitive inner ear. The inner ear controls a creature's sense of balance. For land-based predators, maintaining balance is critical. If they stumble, their prey escapes. But in water, animals move in every direction, like a gyroscope. An animal with a sensitive inner ear can quickly become dizzy and disoriented. Over the millennia, the mosasaur's inner ear begins to dial down the sensitivity, allowing them to quickly twist and spin with no sickening side effects. These evolutionary refinements created a megabeast. The mosasaur can locate, chase, and catch its prey. But catching is not enough. The mosasaur has to eat. And the way that it eats is something that almost defies imagination. It's a prehistoric creature so vicious, it makes sharks seem cuddly. With jaws like steel, it's large enough to swallow a human in one bite. This underwater T-Rex is bred only to hunt and to kill. And across the oceans of planet Earth, this megabeast rules. But 95 million years ago, mosasaurs had some serious competition from a familiar denizen of the deep, the shark. Prehistoric sharks, like their modern cousins, are vicious and durable, traveling vast distances, ripping apart any creature that gets in their way. Sharks had been around for over 250 million years when mosasaurs evolved onto the scene. At that time, the largest, fiercest shark in the water was the giant Ginsu shark.
Quite a very big, heavy-bodied shark.
At a length of 25 feet, the aptly named Ginsus are over 10 feet longer than a typical great white. With mosasaurs and Ginsus hunting in the same waters, one thing is certain: there will be blood.
There was quite a competitive relationship during this time.
While in a
Mosasaur couldn't do any of that. So what they've done is to basically, you can look at mosasaur fossils, and you can look at modern analogs that have a skull that works in a broadly analogous way. But sometimes building a model tells you something you just can't find out any other way.
Dr. Lamb works with Real Effects in North Hollywood, California, to build a life-size mosasaur skull, complete with a set of death-dealing jaws. The massive steel jaws are powered by pneumatics instead of muscles and ligaments.
Never thought I'd see a steel mosasaur skull, but this is very cool looking. We've got 3 pneumatics. We've got 2 operators to run it, and we've reduced it to 3 basic motions. One set of pneumatics opens and closes the jaws. One set moves it backwards and forwards. And the third set runs the pterygoids in the roof of the mouth.
The pterygoids are the terminator teeth. No other ocean predator has them. A second set of teeth running down the roof of the mouth. These are a truly fiendish adaptation.
They actually work independently to move the prey backwards in the throat, and also